I worked in Disney security for 5 years. Most of the time it was uneventful. Lost phones, lost kids, maybe a dad yelling about someone stealing his sunglasses, that kind of thing. We were trained for all kinds of emergencies, but the truth is, it was mostly customer service with a badge. But there's still one case that keeps me up some nights. One that made me realize how easily something terrifying can unfold, even in the happiest place on earth. It was a Saturday afternoon, hot, packed, and loud. I was stationed near Adventureland when a family ran up to the nearest cast member, panicked. Their 6-year-old son had wandered off, just slipped away in the crowd. It happens more than people think, especially when you've got tired kids and stressed out parents. We immediately activated Code Adam, Disney's missing child protocol. That means every exit is locked down, no one leaves without being checked. All available cast members, custodians, vendors, everyone starts looking. We do not mess around when a kid goes missing. Minutes passed, 10, 15, 20. We were checking bathrooms, ride queues, even backstage areas in case he'd slipped through a gate or an emergency exit. The family was breaking down. The mom kept saying, "He was just here." I turned around for 1 second. After 40 minutes, we finally got a call over the radio from a custodial worker. He'd spotted a boy, alone, in a backstage service hallway near Frontierland, in an area only staff were allowed into. The janitor said that the kid didn't look scared, just blank, calm in a way that didn't sit right. When I got there, I saw what he meant. The boy matched the description, but his outfit was different. His Mickey shirt was gone, replaced by a plain blue t-shirt a size too big. His hat was missing, and this is what stopped me. His hair had been partially shaved, like someone started cutting it and stopped halfway through. He didn't say anything when we approached, just looked at us like he was waiting for instructions. I knelt down and I asked him his name. He gave it, softly, and it matched. His voice was barely a whisper. We radioed in and brought him back through the side gate. When his parents saw him, the mom collapsed. She clung to him and kept asking what happened, what did they do to you? But he didn't answer. He just wrapped his arms around her and kept staring over her shoulder like he was still somewhere else. I'll never forget that look. We reviewed every camera, every hallway. We even pulled gate footage to see who entered and exited in the last hour. Nothing. We never found the person who took him. No suspicious guests, no unusual activity. Just this strange little gap in time where a kid vanished and then reappeared, altered. Whoever it was had a plan. They knew how to move through the park without being seen. They had clothes ready, hair clippers, a way to make him unrecognizable in under an hour. They didn't panic, they were organized. If that janitor hadn't been in the right place at the right time, I don't think we would have found that boy. At least, not alive. People always talk about Disney being magical, and it is most of the time. But that day, I learned something else about magic. It can make people let their guard down. It makes them think that nothing bad can happen here. But it can, and it almost did. Not too long ago, I took my 2-year-old son on a trip to Disney World. He's obsessed with The Lion King, Toy Story, and pretty much anything that has to do with Disney. For context, I was a single mom at the time. I had just saved up enough for both of us to go, and I finally decided to pull the trigger. But, I'll be honest, going to all the parks as a single parent is exhausting. Still, it was worth it to see my son's face light up at all the rides and the parades. During our time at Disney, I bought my son one of those autograph books, the kind where all the characters sign their names and you keep it as a souvenir. I made it my mission to get him as many autographs as I could. Everyone from Captain Hook to Elsa signed that book. Now, here's where it gets really strange. After we got back home, I was unpacking all of our stuff in the apartment. Merchandise, clothes, little gifts, and I came across the autograph book. I picked it up and started flipping through all the signatures, just reliving the memories. But on the very last page, there was a message. It didn't seem like it came from any of the characters. It read, "You need to keep a closer eye on your son. We exist and he is not safe." I had to reread it 5 times because I couldn't believe what it said. What made it worse is that every character we had met signed with a black marker or a black Sharpie. I remember each and every one. I watched them sign and hand the book right back to me. But This message was written in red ink in a regular pen. I know for a fact that none of the characters wrote that. I ended up ripping out that page and showing it to a few friends and coworkers. Nobody could explain how someone could have written that in there, especially without me noticing. I've kept the autograph book, but I tore up that last page. I still don't know if I made the right call, but the message felt wrong. I didn't want it anywhere near me or my son. My son still loves Disney, and we've been back twice since then. Both trips were completely normal. Nothing weird happened. But to this day, I have no idea who wrote that message in my son's autograph book, or how they managed to do it. I don't know who they are or what they want with my son, and honestly, I hope I never find out. I've heard and seen a lot of things while working at parks, from guests passing out from heat, kids getting lost, and the occasional emergency where I had to call 911. I even once saw a guy grab one of the characters and rip part of her dress during a photo op. But this story isn't about something I witnessed, it's about something that happened to me. I was working stroller parking at Enchanted Tales with Belle. For those who don't know, it's one of those assignments where you're out in the hot sun helping guests navigate stroller chaos, trying to keep foot traffic moving smoothly. The day was hot, midsummer, high humidity, and I was standing in one of the few shaded spots near the entrance, trying to stay out of the way while still being available. The area was packed. Guests were coming and going, wrangling strollers and digging through bags, trying to find sunscreen or snacks. Another cast member, one of my coworkers who was running water for us, was jogging around, refilling bottles. He was coming back towards me, and that's when it happened. A guest, maybe in his 30s, shoved his double stroller directly into the main walkway, completely blocking traffic, and started walking away like nothing happened. "Sir, oh sir," I called out, trying to keep my voice upbeat. "The stroller parking is right over here." He paused and turned back. "But it's so crowded," he said, clearly annoyed. My coworker chimed in, still smiling. "We are bustling today, huh?" "Definitely," I added. "We just have to keep this path clear for traffic. Wheelchairs, ECVs, all of that." That's when something in his expression shifted. His mouth moved like he said something, but I didn't catch it. His face twisted, not just irritated, but like something darker had surfaced. He grabbed the handle of his stroller, which was still overloaded with backpacks and shopping bags, and who knows what else, and he lifted it. At first, I thought he was just adjusting it, but then he stepped towards me and raised the entire stroller, bags and all, over his head, right above me. I froze. It wasn't like I thought he was going to throw it. The stroller wasn't even that close to me, but the way he looked at me, the blank, intense stare, like I wasn't even a person, like I was just in his way. My coworker said something. I couldn't register it. My eyes were locked on the stroller above me, his arms trembling slightly under the weight. I didn't move. I couldn't. Then, just as suddenly, he started laughing, like it was all some kind of joke. Still grinning, he walked off with the stroller held at his side. I must have looked completely shaken. My coworker immediately stepped in and put his arm around me. "You okay?" he asked gently. All I could do was just stare ahead and say, "Did that just happen?" And then I had a full-blown panic attack. I couldn't breathe. I wasn't in danger anymore, but I couldn't stop shaking. I couldn't explain why I was reacting that way. It's not like he touched me, but I was scared, deeply. Something about how fast it happened, how unpredictable it was, it just overwhelmed me. My coworker quickly led me backstage. As we passed the front greeter, he calmly told her to call security. I think he was trying to keep me grounded, to avoid adding panic. By the time we got backstage, paramedics had been called. I was still breathing hard, still unable to speak clearly. Security went out looking for the guy, but I don't know if they ever found him. Looking back, I still don't fully understand why I reacted so strongly, but it was the only time I ever truly felt threatened while working there. And I think the scariest part was not knowing what made him snap. There was no warning, no escalation, just a sudden switch, and for those few seconds, I felt completely powerless.